ever get jealous of watching people's feeds on social media? Watching those never-ending holiday pics? I mean, it's non-stop, right? See, before smartphones, the only way we really kept in touch with people was calling or emailing or meeting in person. And people didn't just email their entire address book with every single holiday photo they've ever taken, or every single gala dinner, or every time they bought a new outfit. They didn't do that, did they? But for some reason, that behavior is okay on social media. And it doesn't make you feel good, does it? And do all those status updates drive you insane? Kind of like,
on holiday again. I'm on holiday. Show off. Whoopie-doo. Fancy dinner. Ooh. New business. Living your best life. I'm going to passively aggressively not like any of your status updates. They so don't deserve it. They think they're better than me. They are better than me. I can't stand them. I hope they fail. I'm such a loser. I'm falling behind. People will think I'm a loser. I could have done that.
if the green-eyed monster keeps rearing its ugly head and it's making you feel awful, keep watching. I made this episode for you. See you in a bit. Envy is not a good look on you, is it? It saps your energy, derails your productivity, diminishes your self-worth. Now, according to a paper published in the American Psychological Association, there are two types of envy. There's a benign envy and there's a malicious envy. Both of them are rooted in comparing yourself to others, to someone else who is better off in ways that matter to you. Now, benign envy is relatively harmless. In fact, it's more useful for you because it makes you want to do better. It's motivational. I'm sure a generation of NBA players admired Michael Jordan and made them strive to want to be more. And perhaps Naomi Osaka, the Japanese tennis star, I'm not saying she's envious at all, but no doubt she does admire Serena Williams, someone who she competes with professionally, right? And there's an admiration there, and it probably helps her strive to do better. But malicious envy, on the other hand, is a little more destructive. Benign envy makes you want to lift yourself up. Malicious envy makes you want to pull people down. Kind of like Tonya Harding's team. Tonya Harding, the famous figure skater, I think it was from the 90s. Long-term rival Nancy Kerrigan, someone hit her on her knee, bruised her knee to try and sabotage. She couldn't show up in the following night to compete in some championship. A malicious envy is also like the Queen in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
The Queen cared about her looks and she would always ask the mirror, hey, am I the hottest chick in the land? And as long as she was happy, until one day she found out that she's no longer the prettiest chick in the land and there is this other person who's prettier. So what did the Queen want to do? Just like any maliciously envious person would do, she wanted to poison her and kill her with an apple. But also that story conditioned an entire generation of young girls to place their self-worth on their looks and want to be rescued by Prince Charming. I digress. So it's a good example of malicious envy in how it makes you want to pull other people down. So envy makes you bitter, it makes you angry, it triggers the fight or flight response within you, releasing more cortisol, which is the stress hormone. Soon those angry thoughts, initially directed at the other person, will turn on you and you start rejecting yourself. And according to studies at UCLA, rejection triggers the same neural circuits associated with physical pain and physical injuries. I need more coffee. Be right back. In another study at UCLA's Laboratory for Stress Assessment and Research, experiments show that stress weakens your immune system and your ability to fight off infection. These feelings of rejection spikes inflammation, and its chronic inflammation is linked to heart disease and depression and diabetes. Aside from impacts on your health, envy also affects your ability to reach your potential. There was a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology that shows envy inhibits your attention, your memory, and your self-regulation, which means it makes you distracted, forgetful, and wet your pants. Okay, maybe not wet your pants, but if you can't regulate your own behavior, you can't achieve and fulfill your potential. Okay, so what do? Because you can't stop people from living their best life or humble bragging on social media or outright brag. But what you can do is you can stop the harm you're inflicting on yourself. When envy rears its ugly head, initially the targets are other people or other groups. But if you let those thoughts fester, it turns on you, making you feel worthless, hopeless, and helpless. So what can you do to feel more joy and feel less threatened? Here's not what to do.
Big deal. You went on holiday. Well, you still got to go back to a job you hate while I'm doing what I love. Well, at least I'm in a happy relationship. You might have new design clothes, but you still don't know how to wear them.
You've heard the term pride comes before fall. If you big yourself up by pulling the other person down, soon enough someone smarter, someone prettier, someone more successful will come along and topple you. So what do? I've got 4 things I'm going to share with you that you can do to start feeling more joy and less envious. But first I need to go to the supermarket, so why don't you come with me and we'll talk on the way. Come on. You know, the funny thing about feeling envy is doing better won't stop you from feeling envy. Because no matter how improved your status updates are, they're always relative. You'll always be comparing yourself to the people around you. So seeking status and trying to keep up with the Joneses, it's a losing game because the goalposts keep changing. Come on, let's go to the shop. We've all been there before. Green-eyed monster just sort of creeps up on you, making you feel a little melancholy, completely sucking the juice out of you. And when you feel jealous, there really isn't much room for being your creative, brilliant you, right? In upcoming episodes, I'm going to share with you more strategies, so make sure you subscribe. But for now, I'm going to share with you 4 tips to help you squash those poisonous feelings and feel some inner peace. Come with me. So first, you need to be abreast of your emotion. Be aware of the green-eyed monster. Now, this is not easy because you're acknowledging a part of you that you might not like, which is a real hot potato for your ego. But being jealous doesn't make you a bad apple, okay? So a little less self-judgment and a little more self-compassion, fruit, okay? Now, jealousy leaves clues like who drives you nuts in an incredibly negative way, or who makes you very, very angry. So these are clues to help you be aware of the green-eyed monster. So that's the first step. Next, you need to ground yourself by asking yourself, what am I grateful for? Make a list of 7 things you're grateful for. How far you've come, what you've overcome, where you are now, people, your health. There are so many things you could be grateful for right now. You can't feel the green-eyed monster and grateful at the same time. You can only feel one. So flood yourself with gratefulness. Instead of letting self-loathing thoughts fester, pick good thoughts and really milk them. Soy. Where were we? Pick one person you love a lot. They really are the apple of your eye. It could be your partner, your kids, your pets. So pick one person and list 7 things you're grateful for about them. Now that the green-eyed monster has eased up a little, you're ready for the next step. So pick one of the subjects of your envy. It could be a person or it could be a competitor. Pick one person, right? 5 things are you grateful for them? What do you find really appealing about them? It could be that they're showing you what's possible. It could be that they're breaking new ground and therefore demonstrating to you what's possible for you. And look at the bigger picture. What's the probability that they have faced plenty of difficulty on their road to success? It's quite likely, right? Thinking about their struggles, how hard they worked, what they had to overcome, helps uproot those nasty, malicious, envious thoughts, so you can start feeling compassion for them. And then you downgrade the envy from the malicious type to the more harmless, benign type, which is actually motivational for you. See, the worst thing about envy is we let it live inside us and we feed it with our automatic negative thoughts. And the reality is no one is comparing you. They're too busy comparing themselves. Letting self-loathing thoughts live in your head is hurting you. It leaks you of your joy, but being grateful fills you up with abundant thoughts, which gives you peace of mind. Thanks for watching Coffee and Wisdom. I'm Anise Kizilbash and I will see you in another episode.